Okay, so I have to be real with you today. Because today, tens of millions of Americans just got their Social Security deposit, and most of them have no idea that something changed this year. Something that has been quietly building for 43 years. And it just fully hit in 2026. And here's the part that honestly got me. If you were born after 1960, and that means every single Gen Xer, every millennial, basically anyone under 66 right now, the rules of Social Security just changed for you, permanently, in a way that could cost you $180,000 over your retirement. Not $180, not $1,800, $180,000, and most people found out about it by accident, if they found out at all. So today we are going to sit down and go through all of it. The payment that went out today, the retirement age change that just completed in 2026, the hidden penalty that most people are walking straight into, and exactly what you need to do about it. Grab something to write with, because this one matters. Let's start with what is happening right now, today. This morning, the Social Security Administration sent out payments to everyone born between the 11th and the 20th of any month. That is one of 3 payment waves in May. If that is you, check your bank account. That money should already be there. Now, if you were born between the 1st and the 10th, your May payment came on May 13th. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, yours is coming on May 27th. SSI recipients already got paid on May 1st. So what are people actually receiving right now? The average retired worker is getting just over $2,000 a month after this year's 2.8% COLA increase. Married couples are averaging around $3,200 combined. If you retired at your full retirement age, the maximum you can receive is just over $4,100 a month. And if you were smart enough or lucky enough to wait until age 70, you could be getting up to $5,100 every single month. Those are the highest payouts in Social Security's 90-year history. But here's the thing. That just over $2,000 average, by the time Medicare Part B is deducted, which jumped to $202.90 this year, up from $185 last year, the actual take-home for most people is closer to $1,868. So when you hear record benefits, just remember, record deductions are coming with them. Okay, now let's get into the real story, the one that changes everything. Here is something I want you to really hear. In 1983, when Ronald Reagan was president, Congress made a decision. They passed the Social Security Amendments of 1983, and buried inside that law was a time bomb, a slow, gradual increase in the full retirement age. From 65 all the way up to 67. Now, 65 going to 67 does not sound like much, but the way they did it, 2 months per year, stretched over decades, meant that most people never really noticed it happening. It was like a very slow leak. Easy to miss until the damage was done. Well, it's in 2026 that process is complete. Done. Final. Full retirement age in America is now 67. For everyone born in 1960 or later. That is the age when you get 100% of your Social Security benefit. Not 66. Not 65. 67. Now here is what that actually means in practice. If you were born in 1960 and you are turning 66 this year, you might think you are at full retirement age. You are not. Your full retirement age is 67. You have to wait 1 more year to get your full check. And a lot of people born in 1960 are finding this out right now, in 2026 for the first time. If you were born between 1961 and 1964, you are the youngest baby boomers. Same rule. Full retirement age is 67. And if you are Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980, you have now inherited a 67-year full retirement age with 0 transition period. No gradual phase-in for you. It is just 67. That is your number. Period. The head of the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare described it very directly. He said raising the retirement age is effectively a lifetime benefit cut for younger baby boomers and every single Gen Xer after them. And the research backs that up. According to Vanguard, only 4 out of 10 Americans feel they are on track for retirement. Only 4 out of 10. And nearly 60% of current retirees say they left the workforce earlier than planned, most of them because of health problems or job loss. Not by choice, by necessity. So we have a system that is telling people to wait until 67, but reality is forcing millions of people out of work before they even get there. That tension between what the system requires and what life actually does to people is exactly where the $180,000 problem lives. Okay, this is the part you really need to pay attention to. Because of the new full retirement age of 67, claiming Social Security at 62, which is the earliest you can claim, now carries a permanent 30% reduction. Let me say that again. 30%. Gone. Forever. Here is exactly how the math works. If your full benefit at age 67 would be $2,000 a month, and you claim at 62 instead, your check drops to $1,400 a month. Every single month. For the rest of your life. Every cost of living increase, every adjustment, it all gets calculated on top of that reduced $1,400, not the $2,000 you earned. Now, some people say, well, I get more years of payments if I claim early. And that is true. But let us run the real numbers. Over a 25-year retirement, and which is very realistic for someone retiring at 62 today, the difference between claiming at 62 versus claiming at 67 comes out to approximately $180,000 in total lost benefits. That is based on real Social Security Administration calculations. Not a guess. Not an estimate. That is what the math does. $180,000. And here's what really gets me. This 30% penalty did not always exist at this level. When the full retirement age was 65, claiming at 62 cost you about 20%. Now it is 30%. That is a 50% increase in the penalty and for the exact same behavior. Claiming 5 years before full retirement age, nothing changed about what people are doing. The penalty just got bigger, quietly, while nobody was watching. Now there is a flip side to this, and it is powerful. For every year you delay claiming past age 67 up until age 70, your benefit grows by 8%. Every single year. That is guaranteed. No stock market risk. No investment strategy required. Just waiting. So someone with a $2,000 full benefit at 67 who waits until 70 walks away with $2,480 per month for life. The maximum in 2026 for delayed retirement is $5,181 per month. That is what patience looks like in dollar form. Now, I am not here to tell you what to do, because everyone's situation is different. Some people cannot wait. Health issues, job loss. Family emergencies, those are real. And for those people, claiming early is absolutely the right call. But 44% of Americans say they plan to claim at 62. And a significant portion of them do not fully understand what they are giving up. That is the problem. Not the decision itself, but making it without knowing the real cost. Now, there is one more thing that trips people up constantly, and almost nobody talks about it clearly. It is called the retirement earnings test. Here's how it works. If you are collecting Social Security before your full retirement age, and you are still working, there is an income limit. In 2026, that limit is $24,480 per year. That is $2,040 a month. If you earn more than that, the Social Security Administration withholds $1 of your benefit for every $2 you earn over the limit. So say you retire at 63 and start collecting Social Security, but you pick up a part-time job that pays $36,000 a year. That is $11,520 over the limit. The SSA withholds $5,760 of your benefits that year. Just gone from your check. Now, here is the part that makes people feel a little better. Those withheld benefits are not totally lost. When you reach full retirement age, the Social Security Administration recalculates your benefit upward to account for the months it held back payments. So you do eventually get some of it back, spread out over time in slightly higher monthly payments. But most people do not know that. They just see money disappearing from their check and panic. And there is a separate, more generous rule for the year you actually reach full retirement age. In that year, the limit jumps to $65,160. And the withholding changes to $1 for every $3 over the limit. Much easier. Once you hit full retirement age, no limit at all. Earn as much as you want. Your full benefit keeps coming. So the message is simple. If you are going to work while collecting early, well, know the limits. Plan around them. Do not get surprised in December by a letter saying the SSA wants money back. I want to talk specifically to Gen X for a second, because you are the generation getting hit hardest by all of this. And I feel like nobody is talking directly to you about it. You are between 46 and 61 years old right now. Retirement is not tomorrow, but it is not far either. And the rules you grew up hearing about, and they have changed. Your full retirement age is 67. Locked in. Done. You came of age during a time when pensions were disappearing. You got 401ks instead, which means you carry all the investment risk yourself. Home prices exploded. College debt exploded. Real wages stagnated for decades. And after all of that, the retirement system is telling you, wait until 67. And by the way, the program you have been paying into your entire working life. It is projected to face a funding shortfall around 2033. If Congress does not act, that could mean automatic benefit cuts of around 20% across the board. That is the reality Gen X is walking into. So what do you do with that? First, do not ignore it. The people who get hurt the most by these changes are the ones who never looked at the numbers until it was too late. Second, log into ssa.gov and look at your Social Security statement right now. It shows your projected benefit at 62, at 67, and at 70. Look at all three numbers. Run the math on your own situation. Do not assume. No. Third, if you have any flexibility in when you claim, understand what the difference actually means in dollars over your full retirement. Not just monthly, over your lifetime. Because $180,000 is a number worth knowing before you make a decision you cannot take back. Okay, let us bring this all together with exactly what you should do this week. Step 1. Go to ssa.gov and create or log into your My Social Security account. It is free. It takes about 10 minutes. And it gives you a personalized projection of your exact benefit at every claiming age, based on your actual earnings history. That is the only number that matters. Not the averages you hear on the news. Your number. Step 2. Look up your full retirement age. If you were born in 1960 or later, it is 67. If you were born before 1960, use the SSA retirement age calculator to find your exact date. Do not assume. Step 3. If you are planning to claim early, run the lifetime math. Not just the monthly comparison, the full picture over 20 to 25 years. Because the monthly difference looks small. The lifetime difference is enormous. Step 4. If you are still working and thinking about claiming early, check the earnings test limits. In 2026, that ceiling is $24,480 per year before withholding starts. Plan around it. Step 5. Stay informed. Because Social Security is not static. It changes every year. And the people who watch these changes closely, who understand the rules, they make dramatically better retirement decisions than people who just guess. I want to be straight with you before I close. Social Security is not a perfect system. The buying power has been eroding for over a decade. Medicare premiums eat into every raise. And the funding situation is a real concern that Congress has not fully addressed. But it is also, for most Americans, the single most important financial decision of their retirement. More important than most investments. More important than a lot of financial planning decisions people spend months agonizing over. And the decision of when to claim, which most people make quickly without full information, can literally mean the difference of $180,000 over your lifetime. You deserve to make that decision with real numbers. Real facts. Not headlines. Not guesses. That is why I cover this. That is why I will keep covering it. If this helped you today, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this information. Share it with someone who is close to retirement and may not know about this change. And subscribe so you get the next update the moment it drops. I will see you in the next one.